When you look out your window, what do you see? You see cars driving down the street. You see planes flying through the air. You see houses and buildings. You also see flowers and trees and clouds floating through the sky. Some of these things were obviously created by man, but other things seem to appear on their own. All great inventions, from the airplane to the space shuttle, began as a thought in someone's mind. Take, for example, the construction of a building. Let's say a corporation decides to build a new research center. The first step is to assemble a group of planners who put their minds together and begin the design process. Once the details of the building are thought out, an artist creates a rendering of what the finished structure will look like. Engineers and architects then create a set of plans that the contractors use to construct the building, so that when it's finished, it looks just like the artist's conception. And so we see how all of the people involved in the project put their minds and efforts together to transform an idea into a physical structure. In the world of nature, things are created without the efforts of man. Trees grow on their own. The sun rises and sets every day. Clouds drift across the sky without effort. And so we might ask, how are things in the world of nature created? If you plant a sunflower seed in the ground, it will magically transform into a beautiful flower. And that flower produces dozens of seeds that can fall to the ground and grow into flowers just like the one they came from. Is there some underlying intelligent power that causes the rivers to flow and the trees to grow? And what about mankind? When you think about the creation of a human being, it seems there is some invisible magical energy at work. Did you know that you began your existence as an egg that was less than a millimeter in size? When the sperm cell from your father fertilized that egg, your life began. And in the following 9 months, you transformed into a fully functioning human being. And just like the flowers and the trees, human beings can grow and multiply. In the Bible, it says that God created man in his own image. Well, if God created man in his own image, and man creates everything with his thoughts, does that mean that God creates everything with thought? I read once that because thoughts have no physical properties, they must be spiritual in their nature. One of my favorite books is Consciously Creating Circumstances by George Winslow Plummer. Mr. Plummer says that there is one basic first cause of all things that are or ever were. Some people call it God, others call it spirit. And it operates through mind, or universal mind. Mr. Plummer goes on to say that universal mind is the source of all power, and individually we are all tied into that one infinite source. We are one with our Creator. We are one in the universal mind. We are one with all the creative power of nature. You and I are a vehicle for expression of the universal mind. So what does all this mean? If God created man in his own image, and God creates everything in the universe, then man must also have that same creative ability. Whether you realize it or not, you are creating your life with your thoughts. Your habitual daily thoughts are like seeds that take root in the garden of your mind and blossom into the life you experience. When you allow negative thoughts to dwell in your mind, you will experience a harvest that looks something like this. But when you take control of your mind and allow only thoughts of peace, happiness, prosperity, and good health to grow in your mental garden, you will experience a harvest that looks more like this. The choice is yours.